Well, India-Central Asia relationship is something that has seen a lot of developments in past few days, especially the summit-level engagement between the Indian Prime Minister and the Central Asian leaders. With me is the envoy of Kyrgyz Republic to talk about not only India-Central Asia relationship, but also the relationship between India and Kyrgyzstan as well. So welcome to WION. My first question to you is an obvious question. We saw the recent India-Central Asia Summit. This is the first India-Central Asia Summit. How landmark is this summit in terms of increasing the engagement between Central Asia and India?
Okay. Namaste, namaskar, good morning everybody. I am very pleased to meet with you, to have conversation with WION. You are a very famous channel. Every day I am seeing, so I am very proud to converse with you. About this summit, you know, it will be not other words if I can say it's historical event. When I arrived in India, before my arriving to India, I thought about India, I imagined India and compare my imagination with other people. And what about India? It's something ancient, something mystery, something huge, something incredible. And of course, I am from Central Asia, I am from Kyrgyzstan, and I am very interested about history. I know about trade channel, trade exchange of culture between India and other part of this world. And one of the most prominent exchange of people, culture, historical links, it was between India and Central Asia. But unfortunately, for decades, even 100 years, these links, these ties between Central Asia and India was interrupted. Some historical reason. And imagine, in this year, head of states of 5 central countries, presidents, and head of state of India, Prime Minister of India, collect together and thought how we can again restore all these our historical ties and go through history, through time together. It's historical event. And it was very nice opportunity because it was 30 years of anniversary establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Central Asia and 75th of independence of India. And this summit was prepared not occasionally. It has a long history, and because of, for example, our president visited India 6 times. Leaders of India visited Central Asia 6-7 times. Even president and prime minister of India visited Kyrgyzstan 6 times. So we have looking some kind of opportunity how we can do which structure, which format will be optimized for our cooperation. And finally, His Excellency Prime Minister India suggested this format, dialogue, Central Asia and India. And of course, top of this dialogue, it's meeting of head of states. For example, Central Asia have this format with some other countries, European Union, United States of America, Korea, Japan. I know that some other countries would like to set up like this format, dialogue, 5 Central Asian countries and the state, but it was not happened. It's happened here in Delhi with India. So Central Asia have one more format with one of the prominent, one of the very fast developing country. It was done. So now we will see how we can develop this relation, how we can further strengthen this format. So I think it's very obviously observable that it was landmark event.
Landmark event, and obviously it's going to strengthen the relationship between India and Central Asian countries. One of the key outcomes was that there will be summit every 2 years which will be happening. Can we expect Kyrgyzstan to soon host that summit? And also, how do you think that this landmark development is going to strengthen the relationship?
Yes, you are absolutely right. Head of states agreed that this summit must be every 2 years. What's the important outcome of this summit? We are living in modern time. Yes. To fulfill agreement, we have to have some kind of structure, organizational structure. And what about this summit? It was not like a gathering. We have historic links. We have no problem with each other. They decided concrete issues. For example, this summit every 2 years, and next time it will be one of other Central Asian countries, and Kyrgyzstan will be happy hosted so huge event. Of course, we will be happy, but it will be decided through diplomatic channel. And other one, what kind of in October? In December, when it was ministerial meeting dialogue between Minister of External Affairs, and that time His Excellency Minister of External Affairs Jaishankar suggested some kind of picture how it will be organized. And after that, it was discussed during December and January in our capitals as a structure, because it's not simple. Of course, it's some kind of historical change, and it must be adopted by government, by head of states, and it was very quickly done during December and January, despite this New Year holidays, and outcome every 2 years, head of states gathering after 2 pillars. Every year, Minister of External Affairs will meet. Minister of Defense will meet. Ministry of Commerce will meet. And Minister of Culture and Tourism will meet. 4 ministers accepted order from the head of state to meet. And of course, in this higher level, when they will meet, all apparatus, all state service should prepare that meeting. And every meeting must have some concrete outcome. Because of all these ministers, after 2 years, will report to the head of state, to the summit, what they do, what kind of development was done. And it's very important. And as I mentioned, if this format have some kind of own history to prepare, and how modern state organized. In the top, head of state, here in India, prime minister, president, prime minister. In our countries, it's president. Yes, mostly things preparing, and after that suggest to the head of state. If head of state accepted it, after that it must be fulfilled, must be realized. So we have found this mechanism of summit. So head of state of India and Central Asia ordered, do this one. And after 2 years, all, me also as ambassador, we should do report what we to do to be successful this format.
So now talking about the bilateral relationship between India and your country, where is this relation going? How do you characterize this relationship?
May I continue in the aspect of this format? Bilaterally, we have very good relations. And now in Central Asia is going on some kind of integration process. Astana, Tashkent, Dushanbe, Ashgabat, Bishkek, leaders of our states gathering every year. Even more, 5, 6, 7 times during the year. And they have own integration process in our Central Asia region, a lot. And of course, we have some kind of joint project. How do you think? How it's better to realize this joint project with huge, big country like India? Of course, if we can suggest for India some kind of joint project. I mean, in framework of this dialogue, of course, Kyrgyzstan as a separate country will accept a lot of dividends, a lot of outcomes about this. And what about our relations with India? Of course, we didn't wait when it's summit going on, when Central Asian integration process will done. After that, we will apply to India to do some kind of joint project. We have own agenda, and we realize one of them it's security cooperation. We have joint exercise, military exercise. We have joint research center, mountain research center in Bishkek. We have, I'm very proud about it, more than 50,000 Indian students in Kyrgyzstan. And our government very carefully looking after this process. Even now, for example, our Minister of Education tested every medical university about how for Indian students was provided conditions to live, education standard, etc., for higher level education. And I know that they are very happy there, and a lot of students which post-graduated in Kyrgyzstan now chief of hospitals, chief doctors, and they're doing their very good job and about education. And the medical tourism from Kyrgyzstan here. And of course, to strengthen our historical relations, we understand as an expert that it's very important, it's economic ties. And I have noted now big interest from Indian business for Kyrgyzstan. Already 4 delegations visited Kyrgyzstan. And they connected with local businessmen. They have some kind of own project about hospitals, about to build agricultural plant, to build a railway. They would like to take land to do some agricultural product, because we are mountain countries and our product very tested and very popular. Our honey, dry fruit here in India, and not only buy, produce together. So it's going on. It's easy for them to work in Kyrgyzstan because Kyrgyz people like Indians, and now we are very keen to provide for investor, for business, very easy, very safe way. And I would like to also say about high impact community project which provided from Indian government. It's about 30 millions, and every project must be not more than 1.5. We understand that India also is developing country. It's not how we can relations with some other developed countries, and sometimes they help us because we are developing. We should stay. We have just 30 years of our independence, and we are very appreciative of this help from India. And maybe it's not very much money, but it's very remarkable. And we will build some school, some bridge in our village, in name. It was done from government of India. It's very nice for Kyrgyz people, for strengthening our relationship, and we would like to utilize this one. Another one, it's more mutually beneficial for India, for Kyrgyzstan. It's LOC, line of credit, 200 million credit for Kyrgyzstan and other Central Asian countries. Now we are considering to sign this agreement. If this agreement will be signed, it will be very good, for my opinion, for strengthening our relations, because of mostly business between Kyrgyzstan and India is level of small and medium enterprises. But if this credit will be signed, more big Indian companies could come to Kyrgyzstan to realize this line of credit, to big hydro plant. And for example, we have with India joint vision about region issues, about world issues, because we are democratic countries, and our position on the mostly issues are very same. And also, when our president, Mr. Sadr Japarov, has met with His Excellency Prime Minister of India in Glasgow, they agreed to realize ecological project. And we think this LOC could be realized in some ecological projects, green energy, for example. So it's now is in our agenda.
So one of the key focus area for New Delhi has been connectivity. For that, Chabahar port is something that India has been investing on. What's your view when it comes to the usage of the Chabahar port, which of course provides a connectivity for India with Central Asia and with Central Asian countries like yours with India?
You're right. You're right. It's connectivity, one of the main problem. We, government of both countries, government of Central Asian countries and India, must build some conditions to easy connection between business of India and Central Asia. And of course, no any business, even huge business, they can't provide connection. This power only state, the level of state. So if we are going to use Chabahar port, it will be 2 weeks to deliver some kind of goods from India to Kyrgyzstan and to Central Asia, and from Kyrgyzstan to India. 2 weeks. Now we are using 30 days, 45 days through different ports, some other countries, etc. And one more. Indian government, together with Iranian government, would like provide own part in Chabahar. So it will be part of Kyrgyzstan, it will be part of Uzbekistan. We can use ourselves. We can use ourselves. And from India, from Mumbai to Chabahar, from Iran through Turkmenistan or through Uzbekistan, and we agreed it will be not too complicated to cross borders, to do customs duty, etc. You see, it's a very good job, and a lot of business already asked us about when it will be done, and it will be done. And I know that head of states, India and Central Asia, agreed that Minister of Transport must meet and discuss all details of this road.
So all Central Asian countries will get a share when it comes to the port, the Chabahar port.
Right. Yes.
So my final question to you is on Afghanistan. That has been a worry for India, for Central Asia. 3 Central Asian countries, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, they share land border. Your country doesn't share a land border, but the worry regarding Afghanistan, how much there is a worry regarding Afghanistan, and what kind of conversations have happened regarding the situation in Afghanistan when it comes to India and your country and of course wider Central Asian region?
You see, now we are talking about India, Central Asia. We are talking like one region. Central Asia very close to South India, and in South Asia, in framework of South Asia, of course, it's India. Yes, one of the biggest, one of the first country. And how we can talk about our region, this, Central Asia, South Asia, and even India and Central, without Afghanistan? It's not possible. Afghanistan is part, even heart of Central Asia, and it's excluded from this process. Imagine if, for example, Afghanistan. Even Afghanistan, I think in future time, could be part of this dialogue. Why not? Why not? Because it's a natural part of Central Asia. And if we have stable, peaceful state as Afghanistan, imagine how we can trade. It's, from India to Kyrgyzstan through Afghanistan, just 1,000 kilometers. 1,000 kilometers. You sit car in Delhi, and after 3 days, you are in Bishkek. It, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and I think it's future. And I think in past our ancestors have done business like this through Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is natural. And now our leaders, when provided this summit, they agreed that Afghanistan it's a natural part. It's not excluded part of our relations, and we should. Everybody could be happy like this situation. Yes, like this situation, some war, some problem. Because we hope now that no any external threats will be for Afghanistan. No some kind of external players or influence. It will be Afghanistan. No anyone must be from abroad to influence to Afghan deals. It's brotherhood country for us, yes, and we should respect their sovereignty, and we should all head of states agree to support and help. And even Kyrgyzstan, when it was happened in Afghanistan, last events, immediately delivered some humanitarian aid. And you know about Indian humanitarian aid. Now it's situation now in Afghanistan like this, and we would like to involve Afghanistan, Central Asia, and India process. It must be one of the us. And in this case, it will be trade. It will some kind of peaceful building, so we can live together in this region.
So pleasure speaking to you on such a vast subject, Central Asia, Afghanistan, Chabahar, and this is a relationship which will see a lot of engagement, and perhaps in future time we will have more such conversations. Thank you for speaking to WION, sir.
Thank you very much for coming. It's very pleasure, and I was very glad to meet you about all these actual and very important issues.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Sidhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.